So this is in regards to what I should get for a desktop. So I'm going through a dilemma. It's racking out my brain, like trying to figure this out because these are pretty expensive, and I'm honestly using credit card for it. Even though, yeah, I know people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't use a credit card," but whatever. I do remember. Now I'm not Casey Neistat, but I do remember him saying he maxed out his credit cards and look at where he is now. So, so I have to say about that. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out. I have three desktops here, and yet okay, so maybe there's obviously other options, but this is what I'm looking at right now. So, asking you guys which desktop should I choose, or like if maybe you guys can give a perspective or some sort of um perspective that maybe would help me make the best decision. Of course, life is what it is. There's risks and stuff like that. And yes, I do know you can possibly try it out. Thankfully, these are returnable, but at the same time, it's like it's a lot of a hassle to return stuff, to try things, and it's just like, especially if you feel like maybe you may not, you know what might be the best fit for you, but it's just like, anyway, so here we go. So, purpose of it is for music production, video editing, which could include Adobe After Effects, and then future proofing. Because I don't want to necessarily need to update something or change something in just 2 to 3 years. The last desktop I had, or I do have, is an iMac, but I got that like almost 8 years ago or around that. So it only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's not easy to use. So I'll just say so. That's why I'm in the market for something new. Also, I don't think the Mac is updating that computer anymore. So it's just like just for security reasons too. It's a good to update. So yeah, I'm looking for a new desktop that would be easy to use and not cause me headache or trouble. Okay, so these are the contenders. First one up is the Mac Studio, Apple. Okay. Um, this one is I'm not thinking of the mini because again, future proofing, and also if I want to do heavy editing, I don't want to do the Mac Mini. Though I guess you could do it, but I just don't want to. Also, I heard that the Mac Studio is more quieter than the Mac Mini, so that's why I'm just like no to the Mac Mini. Okay, so these are the specs. These are the specs right here. So yeah. So I'll go to the next page to talk about more about it. Here are the pros and the cons of what you're seeing here. So let's go. So the pros are that it's quiet. Apparently, it's like I, I don't have the notes here, but it's like 20 to 25 or something like that decibels. Apparently, some sort of audio card in it or something is good for latency. I don't even know much about latency, but I was reading things on Reddit or whatever about it, and they said something like that. And of course, I mean, it's, you know, with the specs that are on the previous page, it's pretty decent. It has, I believe it was 36 gigabytes of RAM, something like that. So, okay, now the cons are it's expensive for what for just the base model, which only comes with 512 um, gigabytes of SSD, which is crazy for it for a PC, in my opinion. A phone, okay, a PC. Now I don't know. Maybe some people don't do video or photos like that, so of course it may not matter to them. Or if you're just somebody who just uses it for just regular stuff, okay. But if you're trying to do projects and stuff like that, that's like not acceptable. And even then, 512 is still small even for regular. I just feel like everybody should at least have a minimum of 1 terabyte for a computer. But that's me. The thing is though, with this, you could just get an external SSD and add it to it. It's a bit stupid to me and annoying, but it does work. So apparently, so the other con is that I'm just like tired of the desktop operating system. I'm used to it. I just wanted something fresh. I want to use Windows, and I'll talk more about the recent Windows experience I tried out, and as to why I want something newer, or just a new scenery. Um, I guess as you could say. Overall impression of this Mac, and I have not used it, but I have had used Mac in the past and do still have one. It has a pretty good reputation for lasting many, many, many years. Like this one I have, it still does actually work. Ironically enough, I've never had any issue on it where I had to actually take it into the Genius Bar ever, ever, never, ever, ever, ever. Okay. So and I've read similar testimonies or stories about how the people have had it for years, almost 10 years or something, just, crazy amount of years. And it's like, seems unheard of, like possibly with PC. I mean, maybe it is possible with PC, but I've never heard that story from PC, but maybe somebody does have that story. They've had a PC for how many years? Yeah, so it's a good reputation. The biggest thing, or that's paramount to me, that I'm even as to why I'm even leading into this, is because it seems like it's the quietest of the three, and it probably is. Again, though, I wanted a fresh setting though, and then also it's just that it's not as strong. It doesn't have a discrete GPU, so it's not as strong in some certain kind of aspects of editing or whatever rendering. Uh, as compared to, say, an NVIDIA um, graphics card, discrete graphics card, or GPU. So, but it's still pretty good regardless of that. But if you want something stronger, then you would use the PC, I guess. But it's still pretty good for what it does. Okay, the next one is Dell Alienware. By the way, all of these are about the same price, like 2,000. So for this one, this is a Dell Alienware. I did actually get this. These are the specs here. Oh, sorry. These are the specs right here. So, okay. So the pros are it's a smaller size compared to other gaming PCs. It has a discrete GPU, which I talked about previously about how it can be better for. It's for like, I guess maybe like 3D rendering. I don't do 3D rendering, but you never know. What if I do want to do it in the future? And it's like I'm limited because I got something that doesn't handle that as well, like the Mac Studio. The Mac Studio does, I believe it does do it, but it's in regards to comparing it to these PCs, it doesn't do it as well. But anyways, and it does have Wi-Fi 7. I think the others have Wi-Fi 6. Now, as to whether those are upgradable or how to do that, I don't know. But anyway, I just feel like I'm getting a new computer in this age and day. Why am I getting Wi-Fi 6 instead of Wi-Fi 7? But whatever. Now the cons are, I literally got this one and there's this stupid noise coming out of it. I already am pissed off with fans, like literally, like F fans, like fans. I just so tired of it. So not to mention some kind of weird mm, mm, some kind of weird noise like that. And apparently it might be the AIO and it needs to be getting replaced, and Dell can replace it. So it's possible to get it fixed, but some other people are saying that the tech support tells them that it's normal operating. Of course, if I end up getting this and keeping it, I'm gonna be like, you need to fix this or whatever. If they're not willing to do that, obviously I'm just going to just take it back or whatever. But so the other issue is that even if that issue wasn't there, allegedly it's not as quiet as the Mac Studio. It's still like 30 to 30 something And I tried to imagine how it would be like to listen to it without that weird sound, and you can still hear it. And it's kind of like, I just feel like it's going to disrupt my focus, my creativity, because I'm hearing this stupid noise in the background. Sure, maybe I could put it under my desk, but like, if you see how it looks like, why the heck would I put this under my desk? Like, it's like I mean, it doesn't look that great to me. I don't really care that much about the style, but it's like, why anyway? But if I feel like, maybe I still want to get this, then I will try to put it in a desk and see if maybe that will help with the noise. But at the end of the day, like, I went to the store. Now the store is there's people there, so I don't know. I wasn't like in perfect silence, but I did try, put my ear close to the Mac Studio that was there, and obviously I couldn't hear any fan or any noise. But I mean, it wasn't necessarily working hard either or anything like that. So, you know, but yeah. So, so my overall impression is, just with me having gotten this, is like, I just felt like this anger, upsetness. Like, I don't want trouble. Anybody who wants to buy a computer, like, or most people, they just want to grab and go to grab it. Obviously, you would set it up, but it doesn't usually. It's usually does it by itself. You just press some buttons and it'll do it by itself, and you're good to go. You may have to do with PC. You may have to do some updates, or Mac, do some other things. You're good to go. You move on with your life. This, like, right out of the box, I was, testing it. I was listening to the noise because the noise is very important to me, and I'm hearing that stupid noise, and I'm pissed off, and I'm over here now. Now, the time I could be using for what I actually need to do, I'm using it trying to research what the fuck is wrong with it, and it's like, it's annoying. Like, and then the headache I'm thinking about, that I might have to go and return it somewhere and have somebody fix it. Thankfully, where I got it from in Micro Center, I can actually take it there, and I went there and asked them about it, so I don't necessarily need to ship it off somewhere or have somebody come to my house. But at the same time, it is still trouble and effort to fix something that should have been right outside of the box. It's, and if this is what they're doing to many people, it's like, what else can I expect? I hope this is not something that I need to worry about in the future. And then I've, on top of that, there's people that are saying Dell Alienware is stupid or overpriced or blah 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 this, and there's just some things about it that's like they cheapened out. Like, apparently the SSD is like not the best or whatever. It's just, so it just feels like a lot of trouble. Um, I did hear something, like, I don't know if I heard spiritually to get the Alienware, so that's even why I even went and got it. But maybe I didn't hear well. Sometimes you think you hear the spirit say something this, and I'm like, but maybe I'm wrong. So, because the way I'm feeling versus what I heard, if it's not matching, then I probably shouldn't get it. If it's, so, but I'm still, we're still checking here. So third option here, Asus ROG G700 58-liter gaming desktop. Now, funny enough, apparently this has some sort of 0 decibel thing where the GPU fan won't run during certain tasks that are light. But apparently that doesn't mean it's going to be perfectly silent, because the fans in the case or somewhere else will also still be on. But I guess maybe it can mean it's quiet, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. But I haven't bought this one, but I could buy it and try to test it out. But let's go to the pros and cons here. These are the specs. Now, this one does have a 2 terabyte compared to the Alienware. Pros, you know, good GPU. Both Dell and this have good GPU for like heavy editing and stuff. I mean, it's not a 32 gigabyte VRAM, so I don't know how great it is, but still at the 16 gigabyte VRAM, it's apparently, I think it beats Mac Studio in certain things. So okay, so and then it also has 2 terabytes that come with the price. Again, these are about 2,000. So you get more 2 terabyte. This is 2 terabyte SSD. You get more. Okay, now the cons are, and I'm sorry, there's a tape there. It's not even 50. Oh my gosh. This is completely wrong. It's a 50, here it says a 58 liter. case. Okay, so it's a 58-liter case, so it's very big. It's like almost twice the size of the Alienware. I don't really care for large cases. I don't even really care for all these colors and all that stuff. And I'm not a gamer, but it's just that I just felt like gaming PCs would probably be suitable for what I would want to do, but I don't really care for all these colors and all these kind of pizzazz and stuff like that. Okay. And the thing is, again, it's probably not as quiet as a Mac Studio. It isn't as quiet as a Mac Studio, apparently. And then also it comes with Wi-Fi 6 instead of Wi-Fi 7. So now the thing is, though, the internet I have is Wi-Fi 6 anyway, but for future proofing things, I would have wanted a Wi-Fi 7. So overall impression is I'm wondering if it would be quieter than the Alienware. Some people have read that if it's bigger, the fans can move slower, so that could be quieter. I don't know though. So don't quote me on this. But compared to Dell gave me a problem right out of the box. So I mean, how much worse could this one be? Like, as long if it doesn't give you a problem outside of the box, other than the fans not being as quiet as I want, that's it's so sad that that's the standard, but you know, um, because of what Dell's done to me. But that is what it is. Okay, so feelings. So overall, I'm feeling like I have no choice, but I need to get the Mac Studio for quietness. I just feel like for creativity and just like for not disrupting my focus. Like I just want that kind of piece, but at the same time, a I wanted to use the windows because for some reason, the Dell it seemed like the windows open faster. It just seemed more snappier, um, as compared to because I do have a MacBook Pro. I was even debating about taking that back, but it's an M5, so it's not a Pro or Max chip or anything like that, but it doesn't seem as snappy as the Dell PC that I had. It's like the Windows would still take a while to open. I don't know, and I don't know. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi 6 that but the thing is, my internet is Wi-Fi 6 anyway. So, anyways, I don't know, but it just felt snappier the Alienware. But even though I'm like, oh, I should get the Mac Studio for quietness, I can't help but wonder, like, could I possibly get used to PC fan noise? Because at my job, I have the PC fan noise, but it's like, I have no option but to use that because that's what they give me. So I just use it, but I also have the headphones on too. So, but I still hear it through the headphones, but it's my job, so I just, do it. But it's not like I'm doing creative work in that kind of creative work in my job. So I'm just doing my job regardless. But in regards to the PC fan noise, and I'm not even saying like the PC fan noise, but I don't know how loud the PC fan noise gets during editing and during production. Like, is it gonna get very loud? Like, if it is, like, I just don't see like why I would want to go through that. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't want to be like, this thing would be like I was trying to set the things and this fans were just coming on like crazy, like at the end, like the engine's revving up, and I'm like, what is going on? This is for the Dell Alienware when I was just trying to adjust out because I was trying to see how I could get it to be as quiet as possible, like on the quiet mode. And when I was trying to change it, it was like before it went to the quiet mode, it was revving up this engine's like a couple of times, and I'm just like, I hope this is not something I'm gonna have to expect if I'm doing the production. These fans coming on at random times. But yeah, basically, it seems like the crux of the issue right now to me is this noise, and of course, going with the Mac would probably resolve that. But at the same time, there's trade offs, and but I feel kind of like I have no other option. But I'm really, really bored with the Mac and just the Mac desktops, and I just also like that the Dell is more snappier because I'm not. It's not that I'm also gonna use it for those things. I could also use it for like maybe I'm doing job applications or other tasks, and I don't want to be bogged down in the Dells is more snappier compared to the Mac. But I haven't used the Mac Studio, so you never know. Maybe the Mac Studio is just as snappy as the Dell, because I've used what I've used in regards to the Mac as my iMac that I've had for many years, and then also the new M5, which is not as snappy. So yeah, and when I say snappy, I mean like when I open up a window, how fast it opens up. Like the Dell, so the feeling with the Mac is like it's just very thick, and it's like it's a delay in it opening. But with the Windows, it just feels more lighter within their ecosystem or whatever, and just like when I click something, it comes up almost immediately. So, or you can immediately. So, but yeah, these are my feelings. So, yeah, obviously these are not the only desktops in the world. Um, I could do a pre-build, but the pre-build was going to cost more, and it'd be a damn shame to pre-build that thing and then be like, oh fuck, this is not as quiet as I wanted, and I've already built it. So it's like, can I even return it at that point? I don't know. I don't know if I can even return it at that point. That's crazy. So it's like, I don't want to go through that trouble too, because yeah, again, you could try to pre-build something to get as quiet as possible, but at the end of the day, it's still PC apparently. So I don't know if you could really get it as quiet as the Mac Studio. But regardless, other suggestions are still welcomed. Who knows? Maybe I could get used to the sound. I don't know. I could, but it's just like right now, it's just a trying period. And like, it's like, am I gonna just have to go back to Mac, or should I endure with the Windows and just go through the trouble of just trying on the Windows? And again, I can do that, but it's a pain in the ass to try. But you gotta, what else can I do? You gotta try. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys. Suggestions are welcome.